Now, African Bank has reported a 29% increase in operating profit for the year ended 30 September 2018. It's also increased its retail deposits by over 200% and saw 21% growth in new credit disbursements. African Bank says it has a reduced credit impairment charge due to an improvement in credit quality as a result of regular and an effective credit policy. Reviews were significant factors in their results. Credit impairment ratio improved to 11.7% from 12.7%. The bank's CEO, Basani Maluleke, says when they launch their new transactional account next year, they will initially target the existing base of just over 1 million customers. She says she expects their shared banking model, low fee structure to resonate with a much broader spectrum of South Africans. Our reporter Liabo Setho is with the CEO of African Bank, Basani Maluleke, regarding the bank's turnaround strategy and future prospects. Let's listen in.
Thank you very much. Well, I've asked Ms. Basani Maluleke, who's the Chief Executive Officer at African Bank Limited, to join us to share more views about the annual results that they've just released this morning. Ms. Maluleke, thank you very much for making time to speak to us.
That's a pleasure.
When I think about the VBS matter, I can't help but to think about what African Bank has gone through. You've gone through the whole curatorship and come out successful. You are on a path to recovery. These results say it all. Give us a synopsis of the journey, how it's been.
It's been an incredibly exciting journey. Obviously, we are thrilled with the results that we have seen so far because, as you can see, we have now hit R1 billion of profit after tax, which is an incredible achievement. But I think, what we must also appreciate is even coming out of curatorship, the bank was endowed with a really good set of assets in terms of the loan products and the loan assets that we got out of the curatorship. So it is a book that has been performing well, that has performed well for us. It has matured over the course of the last 2.5 years since coming out of curatorship. But in addition to that, it's been really great to see how our originated book, how the new loans that we've been writing have also been growing. The quality of those loans has been really good. As I said in my results announcement earlier, we've seen a 21% increase in new loans this year. That's 9.6 billion rand of new loans. So that talks to the fact that the consumer out in the street is seeing the bank as a credible proposition, as an organization that they want to do business with, and that really makes us feel happy about that.
But I'm sure it's also a different characteristics of a new loan book. So you're taking much longer terms in terms of loans. They're not like before, because obviously you're much more cautious now.
We definitely are. So when coming out of curatorship, we decided to stay away from doing very short-term loans because we realized that one, they're not all that profitable, but also they potentially would exploit our customers. So we start our loans at about 7 months at the shortest, and they do go out to over 72 months. Albeit we see that the loan term is about 58 because people tend to settle their loans earlier. And then you're right, the loans definitely are bigger. So we're seeing that customers prefer to have larger loans. But of course, as you said as well, we definitely have changed our risk appetite and are lending to customers that are much more likely to pay us back.
Right after the curatorship, there was a whole debate about who this new African Bank is now. Are you now a state bank? Who do you belong to? When I went through everything this morning, I realized that you have other banks also who are shareholders in African Bank Holdings, which quite complicates things. Who are you?
Yeah, well, it is a very complicated situation. I couldn't agree with you more. So we're 50% owned by the Reserve Bank, right? So this is also our regulator, so it does create a little bit a dynamic there that we must manage carefully. And then 25% of us is owned by the PIC. So if you think of the PIC and the Reserve Bank as state institutions, we are 75% owned by the state.
Right.
And then of course 25% is owned by the 6 banks, which would be the 4 big banks, and then Investec and Capitec as well.
But now, you are guys moving now to what you call My World, and I've heard that you're quite excited about going to the transactional banking. But how do you compete with people who are also shareholders? I'm confused.
Fortunately, I think the way that we've managed the shareholding and to leave it separate from the operations of the organization has been really, really well done. I think the board has managed it well. I think the shareholders have shown the right level of maturity to keep these two things separate, and we know that the shareholding is not permanent. The 75 shareholders, so the 75% being the Reserve Bank and the banks, have been made very clear that they will only stay shareholders to the extent required to put the bank on a proper footing for growth.
Okay.
So we know that they are looking to exit at the first opportunity. And I think that everybody understands that the success of African Bank is really important. So there definitely has been nothing that has been said or done by our shareholders that would limit the extent to which we can grow the bank.
Let's talk about what you're offering with regards to My World. You have already a lot of banks, so 2 or 3 that are coming into the banking space. They're promising to be very digital, to make things very easy. You are promising the same thing, basically. What would make you, or what would make Mrs. Dlamini at home want to come and open the transactional banking with you and not with a competitor?
There are multiple things. I think our value proposition in terms of the way that we're pricing, in terms of the fact that we're giving people good interest rates on the money that they have with the bank, and just how the product will work in terms of people wanting to work with us in the branch or in a contact center, etc. I think just the flexibility and the convenience that the product, and of course the cost, that the product will provide for our customers is very, very compelling.
Right.
As for Mrs. Dlamini, we definitely are going to start with our own customers in terms of making the product available to them because they have been loyal. I think they are people who understand who we are and have an emotional connection to us. If Mrs. Dlamini is a current customer of the bank, and she may well be, we will absolutely market to her, and she will absolutely see the value.
Right.
For the people who have never banked with African Bank, we are committed to making sure that they understand the journey that we are on, that they understand the value that we will be creating for them if they should come and bank with us.